Hello, this is Roger from C Parkinson. I'm just going to go through a demo on how to set up the new ESI programmable room thermostat. This is the ESRTP 5, the new 5 series. A number of people struggling with this one, so going to do a video on this, just taking you through it, hopefully help you out. Looking at this just before making the video, there are quite a few features on it, so I'll probably just have to split the video into a couple of separate videos showing some of the advanced features that it's got on it as well. So just click to the link at the end of the video and it'll take you through to those further videos. Now to run through, we have these 2 arrow buttons which help us maneuver through the settings. And we have the temperature as it stands. We have 3 different symbols here, and the first one is frost or manually off. If we press the right button, we'll see it goes across to a time clock. That's the auto setting. You can see the little flame symbol come on there as well because it's actually asking for the heating to come on. If we press right again, we get a little finger which is telling us that that's a manual override, so we can manually control the temperature off and on as we want. Right, okay, first thing we're going to do is just show you how to set up the time and date on there. So if we come to the right arrow button and press and hold that for 3 seconds, we're going to get it come up and saying TINE, time. Now this is where we get to a few of the program settings from, and if we press right arrow again, we're going to get the time function. So we set up firstly the hours. Now to do that, we use the roller on the side, up and down, you know, time forwards, time backwards. So we're 9 o'clock, and we press arrow again and we go to the minutes, and the minute starts flashing. Again, up and down to change the time to a time we want, and then press arrow again and we get the date. So the day of the month followed by the month itself, just pressing that right arrow each time we want to move on to the next selection, and right again gives us the option of changing the year, so we can change the year forwards and backwards. Press it the last time, it gives the option of a 24 or a 12-hour clock using this roller for making our selections. So we want to go for a 24-hour clock. We press right again. As you can see, it's taking us straight back to the time, so it will just roll around that menu. If we press back and back again, that's saved that. So there's no physical save, to select to do that function. You just want to double check it, you can press, hold, press again to get back into the time. And as you can see, it's just kept the times that we set up before. We just want to scroll through that to check everything. The 5th of the 11th 2018. So you can see it kept all them settings just from running through. There's no button to press to confirm. We just press back arrow when we're happy with the settings we've got. Right, okay, now the time and date set up, we're going to move on to setting up the program. Again, we're going to press this right arrow button. I'm going to hold it until we get time come up. Then we're going to go to the roller, and this is where we can select through the menu. So we want to go to program, and on program we then press right arrow. Now it then gives us a selection and choice with the roller again of a 5-2 setting, 7-day setting, and a 24-hour setting. Now what a 5-2 setting is we're setting up the weekdays all the same times, and we're having different times for the weekend. On a 7-day setting, we can set up individual days to whatever times we want them coming on, so we can have Monday different than a Wednesday, Obviously handy if you're working shift patterns or you have days off during the week, that you can set up individual days to your preference. And then we move down to 24-hour, which we just set up 1 day's time, and that then basically is the time for each day of the week. So we're going to set it up on the 5-2, that's the most common. So we select 5-2 with the roller on the side, and then we press the right arrow button. What it's flashing now is 1 to 5 to say that we're setting up the weekday temperatures. We press right arrow again, and we get P1, our first on time. Now right arrow again, and we get our time, 6:30. If we want to change that, we're down on the roller, time to go backwards, time to go forwards, going up in 10-minute increments. So if we say we want it coming on at 7 o'clock, then press right arrow again. We're wanting it at 20 degrees, up and down on the roller to change that. Right arrow again, we go to program setting 2. That's the off time for that morning event. Press right arrow. Now we want that going back off. We're heading out to work and we want it going off at 8:30. Now we select next and we're saying 16 degrees. Now at 16 degrees it means that from that off time to our next event on time, we don't want the house to fall below 16 degrees C. That's going to be different for different houses, so it's just a case of finding the desired temperature in your own house. A lot of thermostats are set up at 15 degrees. If you feel 16 is a little bit too warm, you just knock it down. 15 degrees I think is a decent enough temperature to not let it fall below. So if we then press the right arrow, we come to P3. P3 is the on time coming back on in the evening, and we choose the time we want it coming on, the roller on the side to change that time. So we want it coming back on at 4:30 and 16 degrees. We want it a bit warmer than that. Have it 20 degrees in the evening, and then P4 is our off time, and we go through and we select what time we'd like it to go off again. We'll say we want it going off at 9:30. And press right arrow again and we choose the temperature. We say overnight, we don't want it to fall below 16 degrees. Press right arrow again and it'll go back to P1. It'll just circle itself around. So again, if we just press left arrow, left arrow, left arrow, left arrow, we're back to the main menu. So we've set up Monday to Friday on that. To just go back into that and show you how to set up the weekend time, again using this roller program. We're on the 5-2 setting. We've already set up 1 to 5, roller to knock it up to 6 to 7, and we're then setting up the weekend menu. So very much the same. We've got those 4 setting times, so we can select up or down to change the time, up or down to change the temperature, off time P2, what time we want it to go back off again, what temperature we want it to be at that off time. We don't want to fall below before the next on time. And then P3 coming back on again, and we're saying we want it coming on a weekend, we want it coming back on at 4:30, we want it at 20 degrees, and we want it going off again roughly about 10:30. There we go, and we want it then going off to 16 degrees. Then goes through and takes you back to this P1 setting. Now as you notice, there are only 4 settings, 2 on times, 2 off times, which is going to give us 2 event time settings during the day. It does have the facility to have an additional one. I will show that in the next video. as to how to go through and actually set up to give yourselves 6 events. So if you do need 6 events, just take a look at the next video and I'll explain that there. Alright, okay, next we'll show you the setting up of the 7-day program. So we're pressing right and holding, get to time, and then we're going to roll up to program, press right, and we've got that 5-2 setting that we've just set up, and we're going to want to roll down to 7-day setting. Press right. Now we're going to get the days of the week, so we can set along the same kind of guidelines as the 5-2. We can set up through the days. The graphics of the days leave a little to be desired. None means Monday. We roll up to go forwards in the week, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then if we want to set up Sunday, we just press right, and then we go through the same with program 1, 2, 3 and 4. So if we want to start with program 1, press enter, we can change the times up and down, forward to the temperatures, keep on selecting right, and we'll just run through that menu as to the times. Now strangely enough on this time clock, the factory settings seem a little bit strange to me. As you see, program 1 coming on at 6:30 at 20 degrees. It's going off at 16 degrees, which is okay. But then when we get to programs 3 and 4, they seem to be back to front. What we've got coming on at 2 o'clock, but we're saying at 16 degrees. You will just need to alter that up. So take that up to your desired temperature you want it coming on as an on time. Then going through to program 4, take our time we want it to go off again at. But you'll notice when you click forward to the temperature, it's actually set at 21 degrees, which is a bit of a mistake if you ask me, because you want that off time to be around the 15-16 degree mark. And as you see, it's set up on a factory setting to give you quite a high temperature. So the problem you're going to get with that if you leave it on those factory settings is that you're going to end up with the heating saying that it doesn't want to fall below 21 degrees overnight, which clearly we don't want. So please make sure you just go through and check all those times and don't just rely on the factory settings. Okay, so once you've set up and got 1 day set up, just press back arrow a couple of times till you get back to the selection of the days, and then you can move on to Monday, right arrow to enter that, and then just keep scrolling through right arrow to set up programs 1, 2, 3 and 4. Again, 4, if you notice, the actual off temperature is 21 degrees, so please make sure you go through and set this up and change them. The off temperatures we want, you know, round about between 15 and 16 degrees, and don't just leave it on them factory settings. Right, so once you've gone through all of those different days, you set up on the 7 days, you left it on the 7 days at that point, then it's going to follow that 7-day program. So if we select automated setting, it's going to follow that 7-day setting we've just set up. If you want it to follow the 5.2 setting that you set up, you would need to go back in, go to program, and on that first function change it from 7-day to 5.2. So that's where you choose what physical program you need, and whatever you leave it on, that's the program it's going to run to. So 24-hour setting, after setting up that 7-day one, will be you basically set up the times for one day, and that is going to be the same time settings and temperatures from Monday through to Saturday, Sunday. So that's the 24-hour facility. So again, we'll go program, we'll leave it in the 5.2 setting and back. So that's now telling us the current room temperature. We've got a little symbol saying it's automated. It's clearly past an off time because we've not got the flame symbol. We can override it to bring the temperature up. Now you'll see it flash a few times and then you'll see your flame come on. So if you're outside of a timed event and you want it on, you can manually override it. Now when we've got it in program automated setting, whenever we override it by moving the roller up or down, it's going to keep that override as a temporary override. Now you can see the display changing between a time and a temperature. The current room temperature and the time tells you the time left to the next event. So as it currently stands, I've just overridden it and it's gonna keep me at the temperature I've overridden it to, 26 degrees in this case. It's gonna bring the temperature up from 22 to 26, and then it's gonna keep me there for the next 9 hours and 3 minutes until my next event time. So it will keep it at 26 degrees, but then when you get to your next timed event, it'll cancel that out and it'll follow your timed events. It will scroll through for a minute or two, just telling you how long before that next timed event that temporary override is. If you want to take that back off again, it's just simple to roll down and say, well, we don't want it on, we'll take it down to 15 degrees. It flashes at that, and now it's saying that we've actually manually overridden it to say that we don't want it coming on at all. So it's going to stay off until that next event time, which is in 9 hours and 2 minutes. So it'll just toggle between those, telling you the physical room temperature, and you've actually got a manual override in place, which is going to last for the next 9 hours 2 minutes. So moving on from that temporary override is a permanent override, and that's our little hand and finger symbol. So on this we can just use it to turn up the temperature and leave the temperature where we want it, and it's set and it's on. So it's a simplified version of turning the thing on and off. It's not obviously following the program time settings, but it is just going to run constantly as to whatever you set it up. Handy if you're in on a day when it's not really your program settings, but really best to try and use those automated settings and follow those temperatures rather than just have your boiler constantly work all day to keep the temperature set to whatever you have it at there. The same goes for the permanent override. If you permanently override it and say we want it off and we don't want it coming on, that might be a better feature for using it for that. As you can see that the flame symbol is no longer on. Current room temperature is 21.5 degrees, and we've just turned it right down and said we don't want it coming on unless it falls below 12 degrees. If it's the case you're using it as that, I'd really suggest more to be using the frost symbol. The frost symbol is off, so unless the temperature falls below 5 degrees C. When it falls below 5 degrees C, it'll bring your heating on, protect you from frost damage and you know, those dreaded burst pipes. It'll bring it on, but it'll only take it to 7 degrees and then it'll turn it back off again. Then if it falls below 5 degrees, it'll bring it on. So it'll just maintain between 5 and 7 degrees in that frost setting. So it won't come on and stay on and take you up to normal room temperature. It'll just maintain it that is above 5 degrees, but it'll knock itself off when it achieves a couple of degrees, climb up to 7 degrees. So that's handy for, you know, if you're going away at a colder time, or if you just want to basically turn the clock off without having to change all the program's times, just leaving that frost symbol setting. Right, okay, well that's the first video pretty much wrapped up. So quite a bit covered there, but there are a lot more features to this time clock. But for just the length of the video, I'm going to set up in a couple of other videos, so please take a look at them, because there are a few advanced features with this. So we'll be covering things like the holiday settings in there. I'll show you how to use the copy function to copy through to your days on your 7-day settings, so you can you know, make use of that to set that up quicker. And then kind of going on to a few more advanced features. The stat itself has the benefit of TPI and a delayed start feature. We'll then probably go in another video which has a few more technical settings, and you know, truly show you exactly what this time clock can do. And then hopefully, you know, once you've gone through all them, you have a full understanding of what it's capable of, and then just basically select which of the features are features that you want to use. So thank you very much for listening, and please look for the link at the end of the video to click to other videos. Please subscribe so you've got me on hand. I happily answer any comment you'll leave. If you've got any queries or questions, or there's another video you'd like me to do, please just leave a comment. I always try and answer them. Thanks, bye.